Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to English for Business Conversation and Presentation. Let's begin by explaining what the subject is about exactly. Check this one out. Okay, English for Business Conversation and Presentation. Certainly it has something to do with English for Business Conversation and also how you will perform the presentation as well as possible. And we would like you, my students, to be trained to use your English according to business, including cross-cultural understanding and socializing, a sense of priorities, making a decision, making a phone call, behavioral event interview. This will be our ultimate unit in this subject, and body language. And also, we would like you to be trained to perform your business idea, like presenting company profile and describing trends, as well as possible anyway. And now let us talk about rule and regulation. You have to attend class of 75% of total meetings. When it is less than 75%, I'm not too sure about your score. And your tasks should be submitted on time. When you are late, it means that your tasks will be reduced 0.5 point for every hour that is late. Alright, so I'm talking also about originality. Originality is a must. Okay, now let us move on to a grading system. 20% for tasks, 30% for mid-tasks. It will be having something to do with presentation, and 50% for final test. You will be conducting an interview, and I believe you will have A when your score is 80 up to 100. This leads me to talk about syllabus. In the first meeting, we are going to talk about cross-cultural understanding, which include verbal and non-verbal language influenced by the culture. In the second meeting, we are going to talk about sense of priority, which include will and going to, requests and giving orders. Number 3, making a decision. We are going to talk about agreement and disagreement, giving and asking for someone's opinion and making suggestions. Number 4, making a phone call. We are going to talk about expressions used in business and dealing with customer complaints by using appropriate register. And as we know, when we are talking on the phone to friend, certainly will be different when we are talking to a client. We have to use appropriate register. Is that right? So let's move on to number 5. Introducing a company profile. And you have to make a company profile, and you have to insert logo with, and also you have to tell your lecturer about its philosophy, and you have also to enrich your company profile with organizational structure. And you have also to tell your lecturer about your target audience. Alright, next. Number 6, presentation skill part 1. It will have something to do with opening, structuring, and organizing presentation. And also wise. Wise is welcoming the audience. I is introduce yourself. S is state the topic is. And E, you have to explain why the topic is beneficial to the audience. Let's move on to number 7, presentation skill part 2. It has something to do with signposting, like this leads me to blah blah blah. Let's get started by blah blah blah. Let's move on to blah blah blah. They are called signposting. And then we are going to talk about how to handle the question from the audience. And also we are going to make a good conclusion for our presentation. And in the 8th meeting, we are going to you are going to have the midterm, and the midterm will be presentation. Next slide, we are talking about meeting of number 9. Number 9, describing trends. It has something to do with visual aids. It can be graphs or chart, and you will involve some word classes. They are verbs, noun, adjectives, adverbs, and also preposition. And number 10, introduction to behavioral event interview. The first thing we will study is job analysis, and then we have to study the characters of the organization and also the work behavior. Number 11, competencies and pay. We are going to learn about human characteristics and also core competency. And number 12, how we structure the interview, based on STAR. STAR means as situation, task as T for task, and A for action, and R for result. Let us move on to number 13. Conducting behavioral event interview. It will be having something to do with pre-interview, what we must prepare before conducting the interview, and then what we must do during the interview, and then what we have to do after conducting the interview. And also we have to establish or maintain the report during the interview to make our candidates to be interviewed as comfortable as possible. Number 14, interpreting the result and criteria. You will have to interpret the candidate's strengths and also weakness, and you have to summarize their data, and also you have to make a conclusion. Number 15, you have to write the data based on BE or behavioral event interview, and you will study how to make verbatim. Verbatim means writing word by word. And then you have also to define the criteria, and you have to make a final report. And number 16, interpreting body language. This is also very important in conducting behavioral event interview, because we have to keep our body language as smooth as possible during the interview. For example, how we smile, how we keep eye contact, and then handshake, head nodding, and other gestures. And in the long run, you will have final tasks. The final task will be conducting an interview. Well, I think that will be all. Thanks for watching. Bye now.